Good evening, children. Today we are going to solve some questions based on this last topic, sulfuric acid manufacture, and after that we will go to discuss with the oxy acids, and after that we will go to discuss with the 17th group elements. Now I am going to start with this question and answers. What happens? Last 12 P block. What happens when CaF2 is added to H2SO4? This is one more question. Most often the P block elements carries one more questions. Many one more question they will ask. Totally 5 marks coming for the CBSE board exam. The first question, calcium fluoride CaF2 plus H2SO4, what is the product? That is the question. Answer is calcium sulfate plus 2HF. This is the answer. Simple displacement reaction taking place. Then next question is SO3 react with water. What happens? SO3 react with water. This is the second question. Suppose SO3 react with water, it will give H2SO4. Acid rain. SO3, sulfur dioxide are released from automobiles and mixed with cloud, and the rain is acidic in nature. Due to this pollution, air pollution is the reason for that acid rain. That and all you learned in the small classes. Very simple question. Next question is, what are the three major areas? What are the three major areas in which sulfuric acid used? What are the three major areas in which sulfuric acid is used? H2SO4 used. This is the question, right? Answer for this question is we already discussed in the uses part. Sulfuric acid is used for the manufacture of fertilizers like ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, etc. And it is also used for refining petrol. First area. Second area is refining petroleum from crude oil. Next one, it is used in the metallurgical industry, metallurgical field. It is a cleansing agent for enameling, galvanizing, electroplating of metals, and it is used as a electrolyte in lead acid battery. Metallurgical industry. Okay, so these are the main three areas, the fertilizers. First is fertilizer, and also it is used in the manufacture of dyes, paints, pigments, etc. Detergent also, in detergent industry also small amount of sulfuric acid is used. Okay, so these are the three main areas of sulfuric acid used. Next question. What is the condition? Question is, what is the condition to get maximum yield of sulfuric acid in contact process? What is the condition? What is the condition to get maximum yield of sulfuric acid in contact process? This is the question, right? Answer is, we already discussed in the theory part, low temperature and high pressure. That is 720 Kelvin. Second one is high pressure. This is the condition to give maximum yield, 2 bar material. Because in a forward reaction, the volume of the reactant decreased and product will be formed maximum. That is why in that type we will use condition low temperature and high pressure we are using. Next question. Why Ka value is Ka2 value is very less than Ka1 in sulfuric acid mixing with water. This is the question. This an important question. This type of question, lot of questions coming for the board exam, model exam. So we have to practice one more question, concentrate on one more question, assertion, why, when, what, like that type of questions. So question is, why Ka2 values far less than Ka1 in the mixing of sulfuric acid in water? That's the question. The answer is H2SO4. Gives H3O plus HSO4 minus. In this way, Ka value is greater than 10. It is greater than 10. HSO4 minus plus H2O, it will give H3O plus SO4 2 minus. In this, K value is 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 2. So in this way, the reason is in the SO4 to HSO4 minus the negative ion release hydrogen slowly compared to H2SO4. So that is the thing. So sulfuric acid is a dibasic acid. It is the basic is 2. Number of replaceable hydrogen ion is 2. Whenever sulfuric acid mixed with water, it readily gives its first hydrogen, and the second hydrogen release is difficult because the hydrogen is linked with negatively charged material, so more energy required to remove the hydrogen. That's the thing. HSO4 is a negative charge ion, so the release of hydrogen is slow. That's why the Ka2 value is far Ka2 value is smaller than Ka1. This is the condition. So far we have discussed 5 questions. Next we are going to discuss with the oxyacids and oxyacids. What do you mean by oxyacids? Oxyacids of sulfuric acid. That's the question. There are many oxyacids formed in sulfuric acid. The oxyacid formation is due to the vacant d orbital present in sulfur. Sulfur is a big molecule. It contains empty d orbitals. So the oxidation state, it have variable oxidation state. So it will form new oxyacids. For example, it has H2SO3 is 1, H2SO4 is 1, H2S2O8 is 1, peroxide disulfuric acid, and H2S2O7 is 1. Simply in your textbook they are giving these 4 structures as oxyacids of sulfur. Oxyacids of sulfur. Oxyacids formation is due to the vacant d orbital present in the sulfur. That empty orbital accept the electron from the surrounding atom and they will form new compounds. So H2SO3. This is the structure of H2SO3, correct? Next one is H2SO4. This is H2SO4. Next one is H2S2O8. 2 sulfur is there in between 2 oxygen. So peroxide disulfuric acid. OH. This is also known as peroxide disulfuric acid. H2S2O8. The third structure is oleum, H2S2O7. Hydrogen, sulfur, one more sulfur. Same type of structure. H2S2O7, oleum, peroxide sulfuric acid. This is called peroxide disulfuric acid. Okay, this is called sulfurous acid. This one is called sulfuric acid. This one is called peroxide disulfuric acid. This one is called oleum. So first you have to draw this structure. Then the order ways you are drawing structure. It is very easy for you. because here the same type of sulfurous acid containing one lone pair of electrons. Sulfuric acid, there is no lone pair of electron. We can draw the sulfuric acid structure like this also, no problem. This, if you are drawing like this, this is also correct. And this is called peroxydisulfide. Peroxy means 2 H2O2. This is called hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. Like that, peroxide means 2 oxygen present, equal amount of the main element and the oxygen. So oxygen present with sulfur, 2 sulfur, 2 oxygen present. So that is called peroxydisulfuric acid. Okay, next one is oleum. Oleum is known as fuming liquid. Fuming liquid. It is a fuming liquid. Highly concentrated sulfuric acid. Highly concentrated acid. Highly concentrated acid. If you are going to dilute it, H2S2O7 plus H2O, it will give 2H2SO4. On diluting oleum, we get sulfuric acid. This we already learned in the manufacturing of sulfuric acid. This is the part we discussed about the oxy acids of sulfuric acid. In your textbook, these 4 structures are given. Draw the structures properly, practice yourself. Next, we are going to discuss with the group 17th element. These are the things present in the group 16th element. Now I am going to tell about the group 17th element. What are group 17th element? This is also very important element. Group 17th element. In group 17th element, known as fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. This group is known as halogens. Halogens. What is meant by halogens? Halo means salt. Gens means producers. Bonds, salt bonds. So salt producers, Halogens, the meaning of halogen is salt producers. For example, highly electropositive elements in the group 1 and group 2 react with halogens to give salt. Halogens are highly electronegative. So highly electropositive and highly electronegative elements react to give neutral compounds called salt. For example, sodium react with chlorine, it will give sodium chloride, Na++Cl-. Potassium react with fluorine to form potassium fluoride. The potassium fluoride is used to etching the glass, etching of glass. The potassium chloride and hydrogen fluoride and HF are used for etching the glass. It is highly dangerous. It is used for etching the glass. Okay. So now I am going to tell about the halogen family. Fluorine is highly electronegative. Fluorine is highly electronegative element in the periodic table. Electronegative element in the periodic table. Chlorine, bromine and iodine. Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Bromine, iodine. Bromine is a liquid. Iodine is a solid. And this is also astatine, also solid. Dear children, astatine is a radioactive element. Astatine is also a halogen. It is a radioactive element. Fluorine does not occur in free state. Fluorine does not occur in free state. Chlorine and fluorine are present in a wide way. Chlorine and fluorine occurs highly in the earth crust. Iodine is present, bromine iodine is present in the earth crust less when compared to fluorine and chlorine. Fluorine does not occur in free state because it is highly reactive. Due to its high electronegativity. So it is present in combined state as in the form of fluorospar. Calcium fluoride is called as fluorospar. Fluorospar cryolite. Na3Al(F6) cryolite and Ca3 3Ca3 PO4 thrice. This is called as fluoroapatite. So mainly fluorine present mainly in this form, combined form. It is present in insoluble combined form. So always fluorine, some amount of fluorine present in plants, bones, teeth, and all those things. Plants present in plants, sea water. Small amount of fluorine present in plants, sea water, bones, teeth, etc. So these are the things about fluorine. Fluorine is a very important, highly electronegative gas. Next one is chlorine. Chlorine is present in the form of chloride. Sodium chloride is the very good example of chloride ion. Sodium chloride is a very good example of chloride ion. It is sodium chloride present in sea, lake and rock. Mainly sodium chloride occur in rock salt, sylvine minerals, chloride minerals. What are chloride minerals? Chloride minerals, rock salt, NaCl, sylvine, rock salt. Other name of chloride, sodium chloride is rock salt because the solid deposit of sodium chloride fixed in the rock. Inside the rock, solid deposit of sodium chloride present. So that only sodium chloride called as rock salt. Sylvine, potassium chloride, horn silver, AgCl, carnallite. Sodium chlorine combined. Chlorine also present in combined state. It also a reactive, very reactive gas. So sodium chloride, carnallite, KCl, 2 MgCl2, MgCl2, 6H2O. So this is called carnallite. So chlorine present in combined state like this. It is present in sodium chloride, sylvine, horn silver, carnallite, etc. Chlorine is very important element. In the sea, 2.5% of seawater containing sodium chloride. So some of the sodium chloride deposited as solid in the rock, so they are called as rock salt. Next one is bromine. Bromine is present in combined state as sodium bromide, NaBr, potassium bromide, KBr, magnesium Br, NgBr2. So maximum the bromine also present in combined state. It is present in seawater as well as some other elements. So maximum it is present in the seawater is in the form of minerals. Next one is iodine. Iodine is a very important element. It is present in seaweeds. To 0.5% of iodine present in seaweeds. And then salt saltpeter. It is one type of fish. It containing 0.2% of sodium iodide, NaOI3. So this is sodium iodide. So some of the marine animals, inside the marine animals containing small amount of iodine. This way iodine can be found. Astatine is a radioactive element, so it is short-lived. So these are the occurrence of the group 17th element. Bromine is a liquid. One more thing is chlorine and fluorine are gases. Bromine is a liquid, iodine is a solid, and astatine is a radioactive element. Electronic configuration configuration of group 16 element. Group 17, sorry, group 17 element. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Fluorine, helium, fluorine atomic number 9, chlorine 17, bromine 35, iodine 53, astatine 85. Helium 2s2 2p5. General electronic configuration is ns2 np5. Group 17 to have 7 valence electron. Valence electron is equal to 7. Group 17. Then fluorine, argon 3s2 3p5. Bromine, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Helium, neon, right? Neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Okay, here 4 argon, 3d10, 4s2, 4p5, 28, 30, 35. Right. Next one is 53. Krypton. 4d10, 5s2, 5p3, right? 4d10. Next one is xenon. 4f14, 4d10, 4f14, 5d10, 6s2, 6p5. So these are the valence electron. These are the valence electron. Therefore, general configuration is ns2 np5. So these are the electronic configuration of group 17 element. Group 17 element. So now we are going to start with atomic radius and ionic radius. Atomic radius, ionic radius. Atomic radius and ionic radius are moving down the group increases because the number of cells increases, quantum cells increases. Therefore, atomic radius, ionic radius increases from top to bottom because increase in number of cells, increase in quantum cells. Right. Next one is the ionization enthalpy. Next topic is ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy. These are highly negative elements, so they do not lose electrons. They do not lose electrons. Because these are highly electronegative. They have the tendency of accepting electrons. So more energy required to lose the electrons. So ionization enthalpy is high. Ionization enthalpy is high, normally high. From top to bottom, ionization enthalpy decreases because of size increases. If the size of the atom increases means less effective nuclear charge decreases. Therefore, ionization enthalpy also decreases. So size is high means more effective nuclear charge and more energy needed to remove one electron from the non-metal to make it as ion. What is meant by ionization energy? Energy required to remove the electron from the most loosely bounded gaseous atom to form ion. That is called ionization enthalpy. So non-metal halogen group, they are highly electronegative, so they have the tendency to accept the electron. They are not ready to give the electrons. Therefore, ionization enthalpy is very high. But on moving down the group, ionization enthalpy decreases because size of the atom increases. Right. Next one. Electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. What do you mean by electron gain enthalpy? Electron gaining of electron from the neighboring atom by applying energy. For example, electron gain enthalpy. Most of the halogen atoms have more negative electron gain enthalpy. Why? Electron gain enthalpy. Halogens have more negative electron gain enthalpy. I told you what do you mean by negative electron gain enthalpy. Negative electron gain enthalpy means the ease of gaining the electrons of the atom. Halogens have the ease to gain the electron very quickly because halogens are present in the 17th group. They need one electron to attain the stable noble gas configuration. That is why they gain they have the more tendency to gain the electrons. That's the thing. The electron gain enthalpy is more. One more thing, electron gain enthalpy of fluorine. Electron gain enthalpy (e.g. of fluorine is less than chlorine. Why? This is one question. The electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less than chlorine because even though fluorine is very small, fluorine is very small in size and the interelectronic repulsion is maximum in the 2p orbital in the fluorine. Therefore, very difficult to add one more electron in the outermost shell of fluorine. I will tell you. Already fluorine is very small, compact size. The anomalous figure of fluorine. Fluorine is small size. Absence of vacant d orbital. Small size, 2p orbital has high interelectronic repulsion. Question is fluorine is less electronegative. Electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less than chlorine. Why? This is the question. So small size, absence of vacant d orbital. Small size of 2p orbital has high interelectronic repulsion. Interelectronic repulsion. Suppose this is fluorine, this is 2s orbitals, 2 electrons are there. In the 2p orbital is smaller. In this state 7 electrons are there. So one more electron going to add is difficult. That is why the interelectronic repulsion is maximum. That's the thing I am going to tell. But chlorine have vacant d orbitals. Chlorine is bigger size than fluorine. Chlorine containing vacant d orbital also. Therefore, one more electron going to add is easier when compared to fluorine. That is why electron gain enthalpy ratio, order. Chlorine greater than fluorine greater than bromine greater than iodine. This is the electron gain enthalpy order. Next one is electronegativity. Next topic is electronegativity. What is electronegativity? The qualitative ability of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. That is called, suppose HCl. Chlorine is more electronegative than hydrogen. So the electrons in the chlorine are moved towards the electrons in hydrogen move towards chlorine because of higher electronegativity of chlorine. So it occurs partial negative charge and it occurs partial positive charge. So this is called the electronegative character. In the seesaw model, rope pulling. In rope pulling, the two sides people are there rope pulling. The more power people pulls the less power people towards themselves. The rope pulling game is a very good example of electronegativity. And seesaw playing is a bulkier person present one side of the seesaw, less bulkier person in the other side. The bulkier person acquires the less bulkier person towards them. That are all examples of electronegativity. Fluorine is the most electronegative element. So first point. Second point, electronegativity decreases down the group. Electronegativity decreases down the group. Because of size increases. Because of the size of the atom increases. Fluorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. So size, atomic size increases. size of the atom increases, electronegativity decreases. Electronegativity is inversely proportional to atomic size. We learned in 11th standard. Next I am going to tell about bond energy. Bond energy. Bond energy is energy required to break the bond between bond dissociation energy. Bond energy required to break the bond between the two things. That is called bond dissociation energy. Bond energy means energy of the bond. Fluorine bond is and chlorine bond, bromine bond. Bond energy means energy required to form the bond, right? The fluorine bond is 38 picometer. The bond 38 only kilojoules per mole. Here it is 45 and this is 38. Okay. Why the bond energy is 43? Of fluorine is less than chlorine because the same reason. The interelectronic repulsion between the non-bonding electrons in the 2p orbital. In the 2p orbitals of non-bonded electrons, they themselves repel each other. Therefore, they will not bond with the neighboring atom. That is the bond energy of fluorine is fluorine. F2 is less than Br is less than Cl2 Br2. So this is one more things. Thank you students, have a nice day. Next day we will see tomorrow we will see the remaining part. Okay.